Hi guys! So I'm 33 weeks and 4 days today. I've had a million appointments this week just because it's getting so much, whoa, sorry, I'm sitting on my birthing ball. I'm falling over. Because I had so many, what was I saying? Okay, pregnancy brain, symptom number 1. Because I'm getting further along my pregnancy, I have to get more testing like all the time. So I'm going to start with the symptoms this week. My main thing that's different about me is that I'm like definitely nesting. I'm not a cleaner, like I don't like to clean, and this week I have been like cleaning everything, absolutely everything. Like I just have to clean. If I see something that's there, I just have to pick it up. It's like I can't stand it. It's crazy. Also, the nerves in my legs are always getting cut off. Like I'll just be walking and all of a sudden my leg will go completely numb. And it's this really weird feeling because it's like I can feel that the babies are really low, and I can actually feel the pressure directly on my hip bone. That's how low they are. It's like really weird. It feels like their head is like laying on my hip bone. And so I'll just be walking and I'll have to like stop and be like, ow, ow, because it's totally cutting off the circulation. Also, I finally felt Caden have the hiccups one time. Because Kyson is the one, he always hiccups, and Caden is the one that always moves. I've been feeling Kyson move a lot more than I was before. But Kyson has the hiccups like at least 3 times a day, and I finally felt Caden just randomly have the hiccups one night. Also, I have been having, I've been having this for a long time, the Braxton Hicks every single night, but they're starting to get painful sometimes. And it's not just like, most of the time it's just the tightening and it just like squeezes to where I can't really breathe. But I'm actually starting to feel pain in my back once in a while. And actually 2 nights ago I was laying down with Lily up trying to put her to sleep, and I kept having them, and they were like the painful ones. And I finally started like timing them just because I was bored and I was laying there with Lily waiting for her to fall asleep. And they were like 3 minutes apart. But then I after she fell asleep, I got up and I just got something to drink and took a shower and stuff, and it went away. So I know that they're just Braxton Hicks. It's just weird that they're starting to like actually hurt now, because that means my body's like getting ready for labor. But yeah, that happens every single night and also throughout the day sometimes also. So all the testing that I had this week, first of all, I'm going to start with last Saturday when I had another non-stress test. They hooked me up to the monitors. It takes them like forever to find both of their heart rates on the fetal monitors, just because fetal monitors are more so meant for the full-term babies, and they're a lot smaller than a full-term baby. So it's really hard for them to find them, and then they have to try to find the positions, and then they'll lose one. And so I was there for like probably about like an hour and 15 minutes, and it's just supposed to be like a 20 to 30 minute test. But they finally found, it takes like 3 different nurses every single time I go in to try to find the heartbeats. But after they finally did get the heart rates, the nurse came in and she was like, all of the nurses are admiring their heart rates out there. They just look so good. And I was like, yay, because that makes me feel really good. And I was actually kind of concerned about it though, because as I mentioned before, Kyson's heart rate is really low compared to Caden's. And it's not really that Kyson's is low, it's that Caden's is really high. The one appointment that I had, his was like 120 and Caden's was like 140, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But when I went for the non-stress test, like I'd have a few contractions just because I have them randomly throughout the day. But when I would have a contraction, Caden's heart rate would like skyrocket up. But it happened a bunch of times, and the nurse was saying that it was really good that it was doing that. So I was kind of confused because I thought that was something that would be like, that you should be worried about, I guess, or not worried about, but I didn't think that was normal. But I mean, it was, at one point it actually reached, his heart rate actually reached like in the 190s. And I guess normally his heart rate is around 160, 170. That's what it seems like it's kind of been, besides the one time it was 140. So I guess it really didn't go up that much. It's just his heart rate is so much faster, and everyone notices it every time we listen on the Doppler. Caden's heart rate is like extremely fast. My ultrasound tech said it might be because he has more room, so he's like getting more oxygen, because Kyson's like way squished down there. But I don't know. Anyway, I asked a different nurse this time because this was at the same hospital that I went to before. And I asked a different nurse this time about the OR delivery, about having to deliver in the OR. And she said that it's not, or that you don't necessarily have to deliver in the OR. It's just almost every single time you do. But she said that she has seen it happen to where twins don't make it to the OR and they just end up staying in the normal room. But then I asked my doctor at my appointment on Wednesday, on Wednesday, I asked him about the OR delivery, and he said pretty much you're 100% gonna deliver in the OR. As soon as you're 9 centimeters, they like roll you over to the OR. And he said it used to be because they would, if they needed to do a C-section, then you were like already there and everything. But he said now it's actually just because the OR is the only room that can fit the amount of people that need to be in there for the delivery. So, because once again, he's pretty much 100% sure that I'm not going to have a C-section, which is awesome. But of course, if anything were to come up, then that'd be a completely different story. But as of right now, he says that my body is like 100% ready for a vaginal birth, which is great. So yeah, at my appointment on Wednesday, he measured like I can't remember what it's called, like the fundal or fundus or whatever, the thing where they measure from underneath your boobs all the way down to like where your uterus ends, I guess. And it's supposed to tell you like where you're measuring at. And he's like, well, you're measuring at 37 weeks, but we know why. So I guess I'm technically measuring at 37 weeks if I were to have one baby, or my uterus is measuring at 37 weeks with one baby, which is weird because I'm already bigger than I was with Lilia, but also this is my second pregnancy, so it kind of makes sense that I would be bigger with my second pregnancy anyway. On Wednesday, he went back and he looked at all of my test results for everything, and he was like, you know, you keep testing so high on all of these tests that you really don't need to go in for an NST at this point. So what he had me do is he said, we're still going to schedule the BPP, which is the biophysical profile, and that's the ultrasound part where they just measure the amniotic fluid, and they just watch the baby's movements for like a few minutes. So he said, we'll still schedule the BPP, and as long as those test results come out okay, then we're just going to go ahead and skip the NST because there's no reason to keep doing it because they keep coming out so good. So that was really good. And I was actually starting to think that too, just because I feel like it's just a waste of time to go in there and take up a whole room, like a whole labor and delivery room, waste the nurse's time because they're trying to get it on, and then it just happens to be like okay every single time. So as of right now, he's just going to keep an eye on it with the biophysical profile once a week. So it's going to be right now it's scheduled for every Friday. So I had one yesterday, which again came out perfect scores, and he was actually up at the front with the nurse, and so he looked at the things right there, and he was like, you do not need to schedule an NST. So he was like, I'll see you back next Friday for your next BP, and my next doctor's appointment is in 2 weeks, and it's also scheduled for another BPP on that day, and at that point I will be 35 weeks. Also, I went to a Stork Tour. Or did I talk about this already? I don't think I talked about this already, but I went to this Stork Tour thing at the other hospital because I'm still not 100% sure at what hospital I'm going to deliver at. So I went to the Stork Tour at the other hospital to see what their policies were. I actually loved everything that they're talking about. That hospital said that within the next month or two, they're going to get rid of their nursery, which I think is amazing because personally I think that the baby should be with the mom the whole time after delivery, and just because it helps with bonding and breastfeeding and stuff. So that was like amazing news to me. Other people were like, why are you getting rid of a nursery? But I thought that was awesome. So the only reason that a baby would ever be taken back to the nursery is just to do the hearing test, which I thought was hecka cool. Also, they have wireless fetal monitors there, which is really exciting because I don't think I ever heard of that before until they mentioned that. And they're also waterproof too. So I'm really leaning towards the other hospital now. They seem like they're really trying to go towards pro-natural birth, and they're definitely pro-breastfeeding, which is kind of uncommon nowadays in hospitals, which is kind of sad to say. At least in our area it is. But that hospital was making me, I was really excited about all that stuff. Also, I just had this epiphany 2 or 3 days ago, and I was like, crap, what if I went into labor right this second? Am I ready? And I was like, no, I'm not ready. I don't have my hospital bag packed. I don't have anything. So I finally set up the bassinet that's next to my bed. So you guys can, there's just stuff and junk in it right now, but there's a little bassinet that hooks onto my bed right there. So I hooked that up. So all I have to do now, I think, is pack my hospital bag. And I have the list already just because I went back and watched my hospital bag with Lilia, and then I just remembered what I did and didn't use, and then I just made the list off of that. Yeah, I'll do the hospital bag video as soon as I pack my hospital bag. Also, I was right last week, and Kaden did turn back head down. I think I can kind of figure out how to feel who's who and what's where. So I kind of just had a feeling that he had turned head down already, and I was right, so that's really good. So Caden is, well, Kyson is in the exact perfect position for birth, which is awesome because he's the first one that's coming out. But he is facing my back, and he's head down, and he's like way down there, like practically in the birth canal, like I've said a few times. And then Caden is head down, but he's facing, so he's on this side, and he's facing this way, so he's facing like outside. He's facing the side, and he's facing outside my stomach, and he's facing the opposite way of his brother. So he's the one, it's actually his little fist, because he started like moving around during the ultrasound, and I was like, what is that? What is that thing? Because that's the thing that's always getting stuck in my belly button. And she checked, and it was his fist. So I thought it was really cute. And it must just be his little knees and stuff that are like, getting stuck in my ribs and rolling around there. And she didn't give me pictures this time, which is fine because laying on the ultrasound table is just like insane. I hate it. It gets me like lightheaded, and like you're not supposed to lay on your back, and then they have you lay on your back for ultrasounds, and it's just really uncomfortable. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys my 33-week belly. And also, one thing that I've noticed this week is that my stretch marks are starting to fade just a little bit, which is really cool. But there's still a million of them. Okay, so here's with the shirt on. Here's with the shirt up. You see my stretch marks. They all go sideways, which is really cool. Ooh. Looks like I'm measuring at 44, like just over 44. So I really haven't been doing that much growing now. Oh, Caden's moving. Let's see if I can get him to move. Oh, he's moving over here. Move, little guy. Whoa, did you see that? Do you see that? He's moving. Oh, that's weird. One more thing. If you want to follow my labor updates, I think I found the easiest way for everyone to follow it. And this is only if you want to be like updated like right away. Because I know with Lilia, I did Twitter, and a lot of people had the Twitter sent to their phone. But this time I don't really want to do Twitter. I'm going to try to see if there's a way that I can hook up the Twitter to the Facebook. But I know, like, I know you can do it with your personal page, but I don't know if you can do it with the fan page. So I'm not sure if that's going to work. But there is an option on there. You go to my Facebook fan page, and then on the left side of the screen where it says like how many people like this and stuff, if you go underneath that, it'll say get updates via SMS. And I think if you click that, anytime I update, it'll be sent to your phone. So just when it gets closer, and if you want to do this, if you want to have the updates sent to your phone, I think that's how you can have it done. Just to make it easier so you don't have to keep checking like every 2 seconds. Because I am planning on doing labor updates throughout the whole time. Oh, random side note. I asked my doctor, sorry, like completely backtracking. I asked my doctor when is like the okay to let labor progress, because I don't know when I should, like if I were to go into preterm labor, which I seriously doubt just because I'm not having like any labor signs at all, but if I were to go into preterm labor, I asked him when is the earliest that the hospital would not try to stop the contractions anymore. So he said, as long as you make it to 34 weeks, then it's a go. So if it's before 34 weeks, then go into the hospital because they'll try to stop it. But if it's after 34 weeks, then we're good. And I'll be 34 weeks in 3 days. So pretty much anytime after this, it's like, we're gonna do it. And I want to keep him in for the longest time because I want to be able to just like take him home with me. I don't want him to have to go to the ICU or the NICU or whatever. So, or ICN, my bad. Anyway, yeah, that's all for this week. So let me know if you have any questions, and if not, then I'll talk to you guys for week 34. Bye!